seriousness now. Today I'm going to show you how to use scales more practically, because I created a video before, but I don't think a lot of people found that quite useful. I mean, I played music behind a picture of the scale for you to copy down. It's called Knowing Your Scales. But in terms of, well, practically what do I do with those scales when I play, I don't think a lot of people got a lot of use out of it, so I've made this video in response. Now, I'm going to try and keep this as short as possible, not because it makes a good video time and I don't want to waste your time, I want to keep things sharp and to the point, but it is summertime here in Australia and I'm filming in my garage and it's the only place I can film. Camera set up, music gear's all set up, and it's 37 degrees beyond that garage door there. And I am scorching in here, so if I don't do this really quickly, I'm going to lose fluids and pass out in front of the camera. Alright, so the Mixolydian mode and the Phrygian major dominant scale are the ones we're going to try to mix together. So the Mixolydian mode, the major scale, and the Phrygian dominant major scale, we're going to mix those two together in a very interesting sound, or a very cool transition. So have a look at the Mixolydian mode first. It looks like this. Bam! And it's going to sound like this. Alright, so now we're going to play the Phrygian major mode. It looks like this, bam! And it's going to sound like this. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the, I'll start off with the Mixolydian mode, and then you're going to see what happens, or how these scales fit so closely together. And it's just the inclusion of one note. So the Mixolydian mode, I'm going to put that up right now. Alright, so as I play, I'm going to slowly transition the Phrygian major mode. Just watch this. Transition! You get the idea. Okay, so the next scale we're going to use is called the diminished arpeggio. The diminished arpeggio is used mostly in classical and jazz music, and that's because it cannot sound resolved due to the equal spacings of the intervals, or the equal spaced intervals, or the equal spacing of the notes. It just can't sound resolved. You can play the scale forever and you wouldn't get anywhere. That's why it's used in jazz. It's going to look like this, bang. It's going to sound like this. Alright, so as before, I'm going to put up those two scales. In fact, I'm going to put up the Phrygian dominant. It's like this, bam, as before. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly take the notes away and you're going to see where the diminished arpeggio lies in them. And the combination of those two are going to sound like this. That's if I focus on the diminished arpeggio pattern. Alright, have a listen to it. Okay, so in the last example for this short video series, I'm going to go all out. I'm going to show you 4 scales, and I'm going to start off with the basic, which is the pentatonics. And what I'm going to do is slowly add notes as it goes on. And as we add notes as we go on, we probably start at the basic end and we end up at the jazz end. So the first one is the pentatonic. The pentatonic means of 5 notes, and there are thousands of them out there. I literally don't know how many pentatonics out there because they're used by most folk and traditional songs. It's going to look like this, bam. And what we're going to do is we're going to play in the key of D, so it's going to sound like this. The next example is going to include the major scale. This is going to be the inclusion of 2 more notes, so now we're going to add more flavour to our theme in the key of D. Now the key of D, in this case, we've got a mode called the Dorian mode. The Dorian mode sounds happy and festive and medieval. That's how I interpret it. So see how you interpret it. It looks like this, bam. It's going to sound like this. Alright, so the next scale I'm going to include is called the bebop scale. It's the funk scale. It sits in between jazz and traditional music, because on this side we have traditional music, which is your 5 and 7 noted scales, such as your major scale and your pentatonic scales. And then you've got over here on the jazz components, you've got your whole tones, your chromatic intervals, and your diminished arpeggios, which make no emotional bias, no emotional story. They are unresolved scales. Funk scale combines a little bit of both, so we sort of sit in the middle. It's going to look like this. Bang! Now, it's going to sound like this, and by the way, it's going to sound a little unresolved because of that string of 4 notes that I'm going to use. Alright? Have a listen. Alright, so the last scale I'm going to show you, you're probably thinking, well, is there a 9 note or 10 note scale? At this point where it gets to the 10, sort of 9, 10, 11 note scales, I really don't see too many of them, and I can't be bothered practicing them because they seem kind of, it just seems kind of pointless to have so many notes. So I'm going to go all out and show you the most widely used scale in jazz. It's called the chromatic scale. And I'm going to have to explain this when I show you because you probably won't get it. It's going to look like this. Bam! You're going to see every single note that's highlighted, and you're probably wondering, what the hell is this? You know, it's going to sound like this. Yeah, that's jazz. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Try to make it as quick as possible. Really, the whole purpose was to get you out there and really focusing on how I can use scales to interlock with each other to make a particular emotion, or how can I make a particular song sound this way, or maybe you've just got a musician's block and hopefully this video has helped you spark your creativity for your future music use. So having said that, I'll tell you what, I'm out of here. It is a steam room. It's summer in Australia. I'm going to the beach. See you guys next time.